at some old books, and I found this old book probably from 1990, and I'm quite sure there's some good stuff in it. And let's just I think it's got a lot of pages to it, but real fast, let's just talk here, and we're gonna basically work on this one here. Okay, basically they're telling you from a university research, they said that heating of space uses up 57.5% of your available energy that you use. Okay, and there's all these other ones. So let's just do this one here. So for the heck of it, let's find out. I'm going to bet the chapter's here somewhere. So I bet it's right here somewhere. Probably there it is. Okay, chapter 3. Keeping comfortably room by room. So, and I'm going to probably tell you more. I'm going to probably tell you more other stuff or better stuff than what they tell you, because this stuff is basically designed for the simple person, the layman. So they're telling you to turn it down to 60 Fahrenheit. Okay, well, that's kind of cold, right? But so obviously, this thermostat, it's a no-brainer. If you turn down the thermostat, you're going to save energy, right? Okay, we're not going to waste our time with that because we know that. So, then it starts telling you, hey, turn it down 10 degrees at night. Well, you know what? That makes sense. So at night, you're going to sleep all night anyways, right? So, okay, so that'll work. Turn down your temperature 10 degrees or, whatever you feel comfortable. You'll have to experiment with that. So, yeah, okay, that's obviously a no-brainer there, okay? And then they also tell you, I'm looking through this programmable one, so you could change programmable thermostats are nice, right? So you could change it, when you're at work or if you work at night shift or day or you're not going to be home for the weekend, whatever, okay? So the programmable are nice because then you won't forget, all right? Most people will forget and you lose energy and money, right? So programmable, way to go, but you're probably going to spend $100 on it, okay? And so, and then they talk about, cooler houses, about plants, and somewhere even in here they tell you to take your dog out to a dog house. That ain't going to happen, is it, folks? The book's over 20, 30 years old. People are not going to do that. So now they're talking about, okay, so also from the heating point of view, they're saying, so they kind of skipped a lot with the heating unit, okay? And so they basically talk about the thermostat, and let's add a few things to it, okay? You got to change the filter. Okay, now I don't know. Some people buy those very expensive filters, Space Guards and things like that. Those are good filters, but the problem with those is they cause a pressure drop. So yes, you're filtering the air, but at an energy penalty. So I would say I would use a regular filter, and then I would probably change the filter every month, because the minute the filter gets dirty, it creates a pressure drop, and that costs energy. So no, I would say a cheap filter every 30 days. Now, cleaning your ductwork, yeah, that'll save some energy. Maybe less friction as the air goes through it. Sure, okay, you could do that, but it's not really going to save a lot. What's going to save a lot is if your heating system is balanced, and that's not even in this book. I'm looking through here and I don't see it. And basically the way, and I have a lot of videos on my channel, and I actually have examples of how to do this. And so you could just look up HVAC heating, negative air pressure, duct leakage, things like that. You'll find videos on it. But if you take a piece of toilet paper and you go to the bottom, let's say you have a basement, and you put it at the bottom of the door and close the door while your HVAC is on, air conditioning or heat, the toilet paper will start to be sucked into the basement. Well, that means that your basement sucks. Okay, now that means you've got duct leakage, and you got two types of ducts. You got the supply ducts, and you have the return ducts. The supply ducts are the ones, the cold air returns that go back to the furnace. Now, in the basement, those are never sealed. So And some people even have a register on a supply duct in the basement. So that sucks your basement. A whole big problem. And that also sucks moisture out of your sub pump. And we're not going to get into that, a high radon and all that stuff. So you need to take some furnace tape and seal the basement cold air returns. Okay. Also, I would cut the bottom of that door to the basement an inch or two in case you do have negative pressure. You can slightly equalize it. Now, back to the HVAC, 57%. Okay, we're still going to stick with this number here. And this stuff's not even in the book. So we're going to seal our cold air returns in the basement. We're going to cut the door to the basement a little bit because just in case, we're not good at sealing them, we'll still not create negative pressure. And then, if you got negative pressure in the basement, then the upper floor has positive pressure. So guess what you're doing? You're melting snow on the roof, especially if you've got recessed can lights, and I'm not real big fan of those. Or you have an attic access pull down, or you have a whole house fan, or you have an attic access panel. And so what happens is it's like blowing up a balloon. So if you have an access panel in your closet, then what happens is if it isn't sealed 100% with weather stripping, hot air will leak into your attic. A couple things happen. When you leak air into the attic through your attic access panel because it isn't sealed, or some people have those homes where the second floors are finished, or they walk upstairs with doors to the attics. If those doors aren't weather stripped, the bottoms of the doors aren't sealed, you're blowing air into the attic. And when you do that, it's not magical air. You're losing air to the attic, so your basement's saying, whoa, where did that air go? It's going to suck non-conditioned air through, wherever, through a sub pump or through electrical outlets or through the wall. And now you got to heat, cool, and condition that, and that's why you got the 57%. So you want to seal the attic access panels, and that would be on the HVAC end of it. Now, another thing is a lot of people will tend to close off rooms. You don't want to close off rooms because your cold air returns and your supplies aren't even balanced in most houses. So if you close off one room because you don't think you need it, you're going to create problems in the other rooms. And that's not going to. So when you have a house, you got to use every room. And you want to have it conditioned. So you want a conditioned basement and your house conditioned. And I would also say keep the doors open in your house if you want to save energy. Now, there are other ways of saving energy on the heating. Right now, you got to be careful with the prices of electric and gas. And so, most people don't. You have to be on that every month. And then when you change your suppliers, you got to do some homework on that. So you go to apples on the computer, find out who's the cheapest. But then, what they do also is they'll do the pricing differently. So it's hard for you to actually figure out who's cheaper. They'll use different units or different units of measure. Then, some will take costs out or add costs in. And so, you really got to know, study that before you get into that. And that could be as much as 57% just by changing your supplier, doing it every year. And so saving energy this winter, we're going to do the obvious. We're going to be careful with our thermostat. Yeah, we're going to turn it down. We're not going to open front doors. I mean, we know that, right? Don't leave your garage door open. Plan your trips in the winter. If you're going to bring food into the house to the front door, then bring it all up to the front steps and then bring it all in so the door ain't open for 20 minutes. Especially when your house is under positive negative pressure. When you open a door, boom, it's like this massive amount of airflow, thousands of cubic feet of air that you pay to heat, cool, condition, and dehumidify is escaping into non-conditioned spaces. Like some people like to go in the garage 20 times a day, it's not heated. Well, if you got a pressurized home, then all that air is going to the garage. That's why your garage windows might have condensation, right? And you might have mold in the attic in the garage. And so doors are obvious. The cold air return, sealing that in the basement. You want to open a supply register in the basement too. You want to have a little bit of pressurized airflow in the basement so it's heating. Obviously, you still need to run a dehumidifier. I got other videos on that. As far as keeping doors open, like bathroom doors and closets doors, some people have closets that have heat ducts in them. and there's an attic access panel, and they close the closet door, and there's no return, right? Well, that's a problem because you're blowing that room up like a balloon, and air's going to the attic, and then you wonder why you got icicles and ice dams, and why your gutters fall down. And so, just by doing some of these, we could probably cut this 57 down to 37. Okay, and and that we're not even doing insulation. We're not doing lowering water heater temperatures or nothing like that. This is just on the HVAC unit. And so, oh, by the way, I do have a service, uh, and you could just Google call Marko with a question, Marko, call Marko with a question, and that'll prompt you to a site where you can, it'll, I think I'm charging $29. You get 15 minutes to half an hour. And a lot of times that could solve your house problem that maybe you need solved or somebody can't solve, or you need a second opinion. And I could pretty much handle any house issue. I've been doing this for close to 40 years full time, so I'm pretty good at this stuff. So you can call me and use that service. Sometimes people, want to invest and buy homes, and they're going through a house like, oh my God, what's this crack all about? Well, you could use that service. You can, if call me. We can just go FaceTime and look at that crack. You could send me photos of it. So we could solve issues that way. Additionally, I have a few products. Generally, I'm an Amazon affiliate. I know, I don't make a whole lot, but it helps if you buy stuff for my stuff. I'll have a few things down below. I also have some merch in my YouTube channel. And hey, don't forget to rate, subscribe, share. And so this was just saving some money this winter on heating. It's 2022, and guess what? Heating prices are going to skyrocket, and they are skyrocketing now. And so it's going to make sense to start doing some of these things. Please watch other videos on other tips. Thank you.